Hello friends and welcome back to my channel. My name is Laura or lauraxstitches and I'm actually back within 4 months, which is great, but it's actually only been a month, which is really exciting. I think I was here at the end of October, so I've done pretty good. I'm pretty happy with myself for doing that. I hope you've all been well the past month. It's almost Christmas, people, and tomorrow is December the 1st, which is Christmas tree day in my house. That's been how it's been ever since I grew up. So I brought that into my own house, and Christmas tree day, I'm pumped. I'm going to get that up and I can finally wrap some presents and get them out of different areas of my house. It's a mess. Who knew that having a 6-month-old it would be a bit of a cluttery place? Who knew? So yes, I'm very excited for tomorrow. So I hope you're all doing well and getting ready for Christmas if you celebrate, or any other holidays and things, and you're doing okay. Okay, here's what's going on right now. Lily's just gone to sleep for her morning nap. It's like 8:20. She woke up early today and I was like, that's fine, that will help with my video. Let's see what happens. So she's just gone to sleep, which means that I should have enough time to do this video, but I might be doing it in parts like over the day. But hopefully I don't look too different. I might look more disheveled as the video goes on, and you'll know why. Also, my other babies, my 2 dogs, they're in. They're probably going to snore. If there's any barking, I'll try and cut it out, because I know that if my dogs hear barking, they'll lose their minds. So hopefully I can do that for you. I also just wanted to say a big thank you to everyone for your beautiful comments about Lily in my last video when I introduced you to her. It was really sweet. Lots of lovely comments. So she's 6 months old now and she's doing great. Before I keep going into this, I didn't do this on my last video because I completely forgot, but I will have timestamps. So if you want to skip to any particular section of the video, just click on them in the description below. But Lily's doing great at 6 months. She's just cut her first tooth. It's finally come through down the bottom, which is really exciting because, oh my God, it was doing my head in. But I know that it's just going to get worse from here. So we'll see how we go. Hopefully she's okay. She's doing pretty good. Sleeping nicely. Got a pretty good routine going. So we've had a couple weekends away. Got a couple planned. We've been quite busy, you know, being November, December. So that's what's been happening. I've been sorting out my old classroom because I didn't do much before I left because I was super pregnant and I couldn't be bothered. So I went in yesterday and sorted some things out, but I need to do a bit more. So I just need some more storage containers and stuff to bring stuff out, because next year I'm only doing 2 days a week, so I won't have my own classroom. So I've got to borrow some shed space from my dad. So that's really exciting. The other really exciting news I wanted to get to before I get into my whips is I announced last week, I think it was, that I've organised some different dates for Vic Stitches, which is the retreat. I was planning in 2020, but we obviously had to cancel, and we were going to have one this year, but it's just been so up in the air and nobody wants to plan things and then have them be cancelled on the last minute. So I scrapped this year. I put up a poll last week asking people if they wanted it May, end of year next year, or the same thing in 2023, and the overwhelming majority was May next year, which I was kind of hoping for. So I was pretty excited that people agree with me. The reason I wanted that is because I know there are a couple of retreats in New South Wales at near the end of the year, like September and October. So I wanted to keep the Vic Stitches away from that. And when we originally planned it, we wanted it to be a winter retreat. So that's great. So it's happening on the 20th to the 22nd of May next year. So that's Friday to Sunday. At the moment, I am still trying to find time to do some organising, but I will get there hopefully today, or maybe not today because of the editing, so tomorrow. But I'm thinking I will have some spots open, because some people in the midst of everything just decided, look, let's just cancel my registration. So that was fine. Some people have cancelled now that I've got the new dates because they don't work for them, which is again totally fine. The cancellation things is a bit different for the people that have already registered because of how much of a kerfuffle it's been. So I'll get into that if I need to. So they've cancelled. So I've got some spaces, but people that had originally cancelled are now able to come. So I'm letting them come back in with a little thing we're doing. So I don't know how many spaces I have left yet, but I think it will be a fair few. So if you're looking forward to coming to the Vic Stitches retreat and you haven't registered, just hold tight. I will get the amount of spaces I have left and I will post that somewhere, and I know there's a couple people that are helping me out that will be posting it in places too where they're kind of more active than I am. So that'll be cool. But just maybe keep an eye out on my Instagram. That's probably where I'll be posting it. The Vic Stitches Facebook page is just for people that have registered. So if you're trying to join and I haven't responded to you, it's because you're not registered. And so I just leave those or I decline them. And then when you are registered, I send you the link and then you can join it. Just to keep it exactly who it needs to be for. Plus, there is actually another Facebook page called Vic Stitches or Vic Stitch, which is like a showing what you're doing. They do a secret Santa and stuff, and I think people are getting confused between the two, which I totally understand. I might need to put retreat in mine. Maybe that will help people. Who knows? So while I'm talking about that, if you are an Australian or Victorian, Australian, that'll do, who has an idea of some vendors, so shops or designers that I can reach out to, or if you are one yourself and you would like to do any kind of contributing, so that could be coming and having a little shop there and obviously you can stitch too, but you can have your shop set up next to you and people can come up and buy things. If you wanted to send things for someone to sell, if you wanted to contribute to our goodie bag or door prize or raffle, that like with an item or something. Obviously if it's with the bags there would need to be quite a few, but we can talk about that. Or if you wanted to contribute a pattern that I can print off, so you would send that to me and I can print it off and put it in the bag as a freebie for everyone, please let me know. I'd love to have more and more Australian people known out there. So just, yeah, I'd love to chat with some people. So if you have any that you could suggest, or you are one, or you're friends with someone, let me know. I do have the baby monitor here, by the way, so if I'm looking down at anything, it's probably just a lily or my notes. So now that we've gone a bunch of time into this video, let's get on to some whips. Now the first one is so exciting, and you've probably guessed from the title what has happened. Oh my god, I have finished my Epic Pokemon Generation 1 Extended Edition. I finished it yesterday at about 1 o'clock. I didn't want to film yesterday because I wanted to wash it and iron it. The iron job is not great. I'm probably going to need to do it again, which is upsetting because I don't want to ruin it, but I'm probably going to need to do it again before I get it framed. This has been, let me get my actual dates out for you. I've had this as a whip since the 28th of October 2016. So it's been 5 years and pretty much a month, almost exactly a month since I started it, which is amazing. So I'm going to pop in a picture of where it was in my last video so you can see how much progress I made. I decided, I think just before that video, to sit down and focus on it, and that was the only thing I was going to stitch, unless I was going out of the house and I took a small with me, which I showed as well. But this was it. So I have stitched on this straight pretty much for about 6 weeks and I've got it done. So let's have a look, shall we? There we go. I'm out of my chair now. This is Epic Pokemon Generation 1 Extended Edition. It's stitched on 18 count Aida with 2 threads. Yep. It was 25 pages according to the paper pattern. About halfway through I swapped into Pattern Keeper, which made it go much quicker. And yeah, I might sit down and talk a bit about the details. So I started this pattern when I got back into stitching after many years. I started it, I remember I had to do a bunch of I didn't have to, but I chose to do a bunch of Christmas presents. And I think I started either in the midst of that or after I finished them. And this is what happened. So I have done 4 billion styles of stitching on this. Before I get into that, the extended edition is different because the Pokemon on the outside are complete. Whereas in the original, they're cut off with a blue background. And this actually does have a blue background, but I wasn't going to do that. I cut it out. The only places I left it were actually inside the stitching. And let's quickly talk about if I could do this again, which I never will. But if I could do this again, I would also leave it out of, where's a good place to show you this? See, like inside the wing and inside this tail, it doesn't need to be there. That could have been white. So I would have done that again. If I did it again, I'd change it, but I'm not doing it again. So that's staying how it is. So when I started this piece, I'm going to talk about this for a while. I hope you don't mind. This has been 5 years in the making, so I'm going to talk about it. I started in the top left, and I started by parking. It was my first experience of parking, and I did it in 10 by 10 blocks. And I remember going down, I think, in columns or rows, and then I would switch around. I kind of just picked how I wanted to. I can actually see on the back when I stopped parking, which is pretty cool. So I did that for a while. I went from a giant Q snap. I did a 17 by 17. I don't know what was going through my head when I chose that one. I didn't know what I was doing. I went from a Q snap into I don't think I ever put it in my old scroll frame because it wasn't big enough. Then I got the, what are they called? Quantum frames? Is it quantum? Omnic, the Omnic ones. And I popped it in there, stitched on it like that for a bit, which was good because the whole thing was in it, as in like the width. Then just before the, just before, but a little while before the Mittagong retreat in 2019, I popped it into a Q snap because I was going to take it with me because people wanted me to bring it with me, which is totally fine. It's pretty cool, so I don't blame them. So I popped it into a Q snap and I just was zooming through it. So I said, I'm just going to leave it in Q snap. So I sold my frames and I haven't looked back. I've had this in a Q snap ever since. The other way my stitching has changed, my style that I used for this, I'm going to just start showing the bottom half, is I decided to try some cross country, some colour completion by page. I did never go across the whole thing, I went by page. So I decided to do the black on the page first, and then I went from the top down and did colour by colour. So I would do all the black and then I would go from the top left and find that colour, first colour that was there, do it throughout that whole page, and then go back to the top left and go to the next one and go down. And then it would just mean that the picture of each page kind of stitched down. It was quite nice. And I found that that's my way of doing full coverage that I really like. I've kind of moved on to that for my other full coverage pieces, but instead of obviously doing page by page with all the black, because it's not Pokemon, I just go top left, pick a colour and go down and go across the whole top and go down. I know you probably all do, but Stitching Mummy does the same thing, I'm pretty sure, for the majority of her pieces. So yes, I love this very much. I wanted to have this finished. I remember when I first found it, Matt and I were looking at it. I think Matt actually found it, or I did and I showed him, I can't remember. He found the extended edition, I remember that, and I went, oh, fine, I'll do that. But I remember finding it, and I remember seeing a post by someone saying they finished it in 9 months. I was like, I can finish it quicker than that. 5 years later, And my original goal for this, well, not my original, but my main goal for this was to finish it by Matt's 30th, which is next August. So I smashed that. It got to his birthday this year and I was like, oh crap, I haven't done anything on that in a long time. So yes, I finished that. I'm going to get it framed hopefully in a couple of weeks, but obviously I won't be able to get that back until the new year, I would assume. So yes, I did find on this, and I was quite stressed about it when I was washing it, and it's hard to see, but in here, I'll just turn it. I don't think you can even see it, but maybe. There's like a little dark patch of yellow here. There's some miscolouring, whether that's from being in the Q-snap or some dirt or the Lowry, I'm not sure, but there is some there. I was really stressed that it had come across down here, but is it even on that side? Yeah, I thought it had come down to here, but once I looked at it dried and ironed this morning, it hadn't. So I was really, really happy about that. There's my epic Pokemon. I can't see. I'm really happy it's done. It was just kind of lingering for a really long time. obviously, and it was just sitting around. I'd do a bit, put it away, and I just really wanted it finished. And it was a really good piece to go back to after Lily. I don't know why, it was just because there was always something to do in it. I didn't have to choose. I just knew what I was doing with it, so it was a good one to go back to. So, oh my goodness, what an exciting finish. I do actually have 2 whips to show you as well. They don't have a lot of progress on them because I haven't been stitching on anything else. So let's get into those. The first is my small, and I showed this last time because I had a little start on it, and I haven't made much progress on it, to be honest, but it's the Less is More series by Lizzie Kate. This is Whine Less, Breathe More. I've been saying that wrong. I think I've been saying Whine Less, Talk More. It's Whine Less, Breathe More. Talk Less, Say More is the next one. That's what I'm thinking of. So that's it there, and I'm doing it all in one. Let me show you what that will look like. That's it there. I'm using Matt's camera today, so it should be focusing a lot nicer than last time. Yeah, so I'm doing it all in one, as you can see there. That's on the Lizzie Kate website for free. And I'm stitching this on a piece of, what is this fabric? 32 or 36, I don't know, just raw linen. I started this on the 16th of October. Oh my God, all my threads just fell out. Oh no. So if I haven't already, here's a picture of what it looked like the last time you saw it. Now I'm doing most of the colors as a conversion just to things I had. Some things I did buy, but most of it is just what I had. So here it is. As you can see, I started on the next S and then I had to stop. I leave this one in my car pretty much. I will be bringing it inside now. Oh, probably not till the new year. But yeah, it's one I can do. Like the other day we drove to Bunnings and Lily fell asleep, so I just sat in the car. I got like 2 stitches done and Matt came out again. It's rude. Anyway, I've done Whine Less, sort of. So I'll put the S in and then I'll do some of the decoration-y bits and then go down to Breathe More. I think that's what it was. That's what it looks like now. So I will keep going with that when I can. The next whip I have is actually a new start. I started it last night. Why is it so funny to me? I'm very excited and I'm very lucky. My sister-in-law and brother-in-law, so Matt's brother and his wife, are having another baby, which is, the baby's due in almost a month, so middle of January, which is super exciting. And I stitched a birth sampler for this baby a few years ago. Sorry, their first baby, not this one, in 2018. And it's by Stitch Rovia, and it was the elephant birth sampler. And I messaged her and I said to her, do you want me to stitch one for this baby? It's totally up to you, because I know some people don't care about them, so I didn't want to like force it on her. I said, it's up to you. If you do, just jump on Etsy and find one. Let me know. I'll buy it and stitch it. And she's just said, can I have the same one that you did for my first one so they're matching? I said, sure. And then I went, no, on the inside. I didn't want to stitch 2, but I don't care. So I said to her, look, I might not have any of that fabric left. It might be something different. She said, that's totally fine. But I did find the same fabric. So they'll be exactly the same except for the dates and the name. So this is the Elephant Birth Sampler by Stitch Rovia. Here's a picture of what it will look like when it's done. Obviously the name will be different. Started it yesterday. This is on a piece of Cloud Green Even Weave by Sew It All in 32 count. This is the same fabric I did the original one on, and it's the same fabric that I did my Princess collection on from Sew to Stitch, which I think I showed in my last video all finished. So this is all I've done, is just about I think it's 41 stitches down here on the border. It's not very interesting. This will be featuring in my plans, which I'll get to in a little bit later. But hey, nothing wrong with a tiny start after finishing a giant piece the same day. So that's that one. So they're all my whips. Not very exciting for the last 2, but that first finish was pretty cool, wasn't it? Funny. So I've left that out anyway. So let's get into some haul, and then I'll do a few other things. Again, remember, just jump through the timestamps. There's a few things happening in this episode. I'm not a TV show. in this video, so just jump through if you don't want to see haul. But I did, firstly, I forgot to write this down, but I remembered it. I bought a dot journal. This is just from Kmart. It was like $5. I really wanted to get a proper stitching journal, and I'm very heavily inspired by Kelly from Animal Instinct. She went through her journal, and I looked up those, and then I wanted one that didn't have dates in it. I just wanted one that's just got dots in it. So I looked up some fun handwritten fonts and had a go, but oh, there's a finish there I can cross off. But I just put I just wanted to try it out. So I put current whips is there in my categories, focus goal ideas, pieces to FFO, my notes for this video here, and these are my finishes for this year and my starts that I've had this year. That's all I've done so far. So my plan is I'm going to have maybe not just one page, but a few pages per month to record what I've stitched on, how many stitches if I'm counting, any finishes, that kind of stuff. So I'm going to do a bit of stuff on there, and part of my haul for that, I'll show you in a minute. I'll get to it. I've got a little basket. It's a bit easier than what I had before. Another bit of haul that I don't have with me because it's electronic is I went and I downloaded all of the Advent Animals by Brooks Books. I keep seeing them around, and I got this idea in my head. So when I was a kid in Mum and Dad's house, we had this beautiful 90s sewn Advent calendar that we would use. I remember we would put it on top of, I think, like a display cabinet, and I remember very clearly we used 2 cans of baked beans and we would put them up, and that would hold it up for the month of December. And so it was like a Christian one, I guess. So there was like a nativity scene on it, and there was a little star, like a little star cushion, very small, like this big, with a pin on it. And each day you would move it, so 1 to 24 across, and then on the 25th day you'd put it up in the sky. So each day had like a wise man, a sheep, like it would have all those things on it and go through. So I want to do something similar for my family, but I don't want to do the baby Jesus scene. As you all know, I'm not the most Christian person. I think I'm spiritual. Matt's not. But that's okay. That's what he wants. And I'm not going to force him to do anything. So I love the Advent Animals. They're gorgeous. So, oh, hello, Ski. Sky's here. I think what I want to do is I want to stitch them all on one piece. And I'll probably stitch them as small as I can. Excuse you. And then I want to make some kind of pin or something that we can move across each day. Lily can do it because by the time I do it, she's going to be old enough to do it. Across each day, and then that's our advent calendar, because I think they're gorgeous. So yeah, I think I'm going to get my sister to help me finish it into like a wall hanging kind of thing, so then it's all good. I need your help with organising my Advent Animals. So as most of you know, I have them in, all my whips are in categories. Full coverage, large, medium, small. One for Matt because he's given me a bunch, and then I have my special one which I use for like gifts and things. I don't know whether to put the Advent Animals in smalls or in special. I can't decide. So you tell me what you think. Should I put them in smalls and they'll come up when they come up, or do I put it into special and that's like a project, so I would work on them all until they're done in the special category? Let me know. What else did I get? I got my threads of the month from A Stitch in Time in Tassie. I'm in the Weeks Dye Works threads and the Gentle Arts threads of the month. These are for November. So starting with this one, we've got Confetti, Concord and Conch. And then we've got Cognac, Coleus, I hope I said that right, and Collards. That's the weeks. So the Gast, Gentle Arts, I don't know how to say it. Fisherman's Wharf, Flax and Forest Glade. And then we've got Fragrant Cloves, is that beautiful orange, obviously my favorite. Let's focus on Not My Hand, that'd be great. Cucumber is in there because obviously they didn't have it when they did the Seas. And then Freedom is the blue. Love it. I'm getting a nice good stash of those threads now. I just need to start some things that have them, or I can substitute them with. Okay, let's go into some other things I've purchased. So I'll just start with this because I'm holding it. This is a little scrapbook and I think I'm going to use it for some smalls. I want to scrapbook them in here on this acid-free paper for things that I don't have anywhere else to put them. I don't want to fill up every single piece of my house with cross stitch because I have other things. Matt's a photographer, so he wants to obviously do that. We buy each other little things all the time. We've got photos to do. So I figured for little things, I can put them in here and have it out if anyone wants to flick through it, or I can show people if I want to. So going along with that, I bought some scrapbook paper. So I bought this one from this is called Nature's Habitat by Frenchville. So they're the papers that are in that one. And then I bought this one I love. This is the Designer Squares Australian Wildlife by Jocelyn Proust. I love these. That's my kind of thing. I love them so much. And I don't have anything, any wildlife going at the moment, but they're just so beautiful. I do need to get some plain colours as well. I had a look at Spotlight the other day, but the Black Friday sales went on, so it's been very picked over. And they didn't have not themed ones. So they had like a Halloween one and a Christmas one, but they didn't have just like pastels, which is all I wanted. So that's that. Some other things for the scrapbook and potentially for my journal as well. Probably for my journal as well. From Kmart, I bought some alphabet stickers so I don't have to write everything all the time. Like I could put January as stickers. I bought these cute little ones. These are probably for the scrapbook. From Spotlight, handmade strawberries, adorable. And I also got a couple of sticker books from Spotlight. So this one's all like kawaii stuff. It's mainly bigger ones. These are probably technically meant for journals. So some of it I'm going to use in my scrapbook and some of it I'm going to use in the journal because there's like days of the week in them. There's letters. So that's the kawaii one, and this is the... I'm just checking if they have actual names, so I don't want to say them wrong. They actually don't. They're by American Crafts, if that helps. This is the animal, it says Animal Friends on the front, so let's just call it that. And it's got lots and lots of different adorable animals and silly sayings and things that I can stick around. These were great. They were 20 bucks each, but they were marked down a fair bit, so that's why I thought I'll get them. That's okay. And lastly, for haul, I bought some fat quarters of fabric for finishing. I don't have anything planned, but I thought I would. They were 5 for 15, so got them. Some leafy ones. Just some gingham. Honeycomb. Oh my god. This was the cutest thing in the world. Just like balloon animals and rainbows. Why not? And because it's me, some more flowers. So they're cool. That's my haul. Now I'm going to try and insert something for you here. My granny has recently moved into care, I guess you would call it, like a nursing home kind of thing. So she was living in a unit pretty independently, so she's moved now. So because of that, all of her cross stitches and all of my past tapestries needed to go. It's really funny, when we found one throughout the years that we liked, we would ask Pa or Granny to put our name on the back. So there's a few that I had my name on, and then there's some that nobody was claiming and I really liked them, so I picked them up. So I'm going to put in a video here because some of them are too big to hold, and I figure I would just film them. If there's no video, I will take photos and do like a voiceover thing for you, so I'll put that in there. Okay, so here are some finished pieces by my granny and my pa. You'll have to excuse any dust that you see or reflections. I haven't got to dusting them yet. So this is one that sorry if you can hear my dog. This is one that Granny did, which I fell in love with as soon as I saw her even half working on it. I don't know the names of these, so I'm sorry I can't give you much more information, but I love that this is a fairy, but also angel fairy maybe, but also a rose. You can see her skirt goes into a rose, which I love. And I don't know if I'll be able to show you, but Sorry about the dog. But that's all beading in there, which is beautiful. Oh, thanks, Evie. I love it. So just a little bit of background. My grandparents have, my pa died 4 years ago, but my grandparents have cross-stitched and done tapestry since I can't even remember them not doing it. I think it was in their retirement they started, and their house was completely covered in them. So hundreds throughout their whole house. So yes, that's that one. This one is extremely special to me. This is a tapestry that my pa did when I was very young. And the story goes that when I saw it on the wall, I don't know if it was the first time, but eventually I asked Pa when he died who was going to look after the horses. So I get this one. I've loved it ever since I saw it, apparently. So it's huge. It's definitely over 1 meter wide. I don't know how long it took him to do it, but it's giant. And I love it. I always have. This one doesn't seem to have as reflective glass, which is nice. So yeah, that's that one. This is another tapestry by my pa. I don't know when I put my name on this. I think it was very soon after he died. I just think it's pretty, to be honest. I think Matt and I really liked this one when we saw it. So it's like a little cottage house. I love the flowers at the bottom. It's beautiful. And these are all really, really nicely framed as well. Now this one might be a little bit hard to see. It's in a different spot in the house at the moment, but this is a cross stitch by my granny, and it's like a woodland animals kind of thing. So you've got, I love otters. Matt and I love otters. So we, when I saw it, I kind of had to go there. Plus the duck. Is it a duck? It's probably not a duck. But anyway, it's cute. It was a bit of a random one I just picked up because nobody else claimed it, so I grabbed it. So yes, very excited to have these beautiful pieces in my house. I just have to find somewhere to put them. Wall space is a hot commodity around here, so it's hard to find. All right, back to the video. Okay, next let's do my shout outs, and then we've got a little giveaway to deal with, and then plans, and then we are done. So shout outs this month. Firstly, I wanted to say a huge thank you to Emma X Stitching. She gave me a really beautiful shout out in her last video or the video before. I can't remember. I think it was her last one. It was so nice. It was really weird. I've definitely watched her videos before, but I wasn't subscribed. So I don't really know why that happened, but I fixed that. I made sure to watch all of her videos because I love her. I could listen to her all day. I really could. So feel free to just talk at me, Emma. That'll be fine. I'm okay with that. So Emma's great. I'm sure most of you are watching anyway. She has started lots of stalls. It's like her thing. She started the hello pumpkin, what time do you cull this? That was her with a friend of hers. So she loves a good sale, which I'm a big fan of. I just never have the things that people are stitching on, so I'll join some one day. So if you're not already, go and see Emma. She's got more subscribers than me, so I am sure you're already watching her. The next one I wanted to give a shout out to is Ashley from Wayward Stitcher. She and I have been talking for a really long time on and off. I really appreciate every time she messages me. I'm really bad at reaching out to people, so I really appreciate every time she says hi. She recently talked about my epic Pokemon and the Pokemon cross stitches group, which was really lovely. She said some lovely things. She's like, if you're watching, hi. I was like, of course I'm watching you. So she's really beautiful, and she's got some really awesome projects going, including epic Pokemon and a few other things, Heaven and Earth, some kits and stuff. I did also really want to mention a stitch along that she's doing that really touched my heart. She posted this thing about a dolphin, and I was like, okay, this is you know, big animal over here, this is interesting. And she was saying this dolphin had died, and like she was doing all the blah blah blah, and I was like, what is this? I don't know how I didn't know about it. So she's doing a stitch along for Winter, and Winter is a dolphin who was found when she was about 2 months old. I can't remember the story, go and look it up. But there was, I think she was caught in a trap, and it was her tail, and so her tail had to be amputated. So they actually made a prosthetic tail for her, and she's been a huge inspiration for children and for amputees and people with disabilities. So amazing, just incredible. And Winter passed away on the 11th of November. So it's been a huge thing for a lot of people. It's really hurt. A lot of people are really touched by it. And one of those people is Ashley, and she's decided to make a stitch along called Stitches for Winter. So it goes from, I think now, I'm pretty sure, until the end of February, start of March. She wanted it to go for 2 months because that's when, how old Winter was, they think, when they found her. So you can stitch on anything dolphin related or winter related, which is really good for all those people doing Christmassy things that are wintry. So you can just add on Stitches for Winter onto your post, and that would be awesome. So please go and check out Ashley's post and her channel where she talks about it in her most recent video. And also go and look up the story of Winter if you didn't know about it. She was also I think it's A Dolphin's Tale 1 and 2. They're the movies about Winter. So amazing. So thank you, Ashley, for bringing that to light, and love your stuff. The next 3 people are 3 people that I've just started watching. They are not necessarily the newest people to Flosstube, it's just me finally catching up. First one is another Ashley, the Stitching Penguin. I've just finished watching all of her backlog of videos, which was awesome. She has a bajillion, I love that word, a bajillion, full coverage pieces, and it's the best. She has so many things. She's got other things too, but full coverage is like her thing. She loves it. So go and check her out if you really like full coverage projects. She's beautiful. Her husband does editing on her video and puts in little captions, which sometimes I don't see because I usually stitch and listen. But every now and again I'll pop right up with like, hee, and I'll laugh at it. She's great. And she has some really exciting news in her most recent video. So go and check her out. Next is Our Daily Stitches, and I looked this up and I'm pretty sure it's Natalie, and I'm so sorry if I'm getting that wrong. She's newer. I think she has 4 or 5 videos up. I'm not 100. She's still moving. Stop moving and sleep. I'm not 100% sure. But it is, she has amazing, amazing projects and things that she's working on. So go and check her out. She's a newer Flosstuber. And lastly is Carolyn Stitches. I've also just finished watching all of her things. She started back in 2020, I think, or the end of 2019. I'm not 100% sure. Oh my God, this woman, she goes through projects like nothing. She's so fast and I love it. She's done, it is a little bit hard for me to remember exactly what they've done because I've watched all of their stuff at once. So I don't know exactly what they're doing at the moment. I can't remember. But I know she went through a stage of lots and lots of smalls, which were gorgeous, lots of Mill Hill kits, things like that. But she just stitches so quickly. She was like, yeah, I started this last month and it's done. I'm like, what are you doing? But it's amazing. She's great. Love her vibes. She's from Texas? I could be wrong. Anyway, love that. Love those people. Their links are below. Go and check them out. Let's do this giveaway and then we can get into plans and then you can go to the next video. So last month I was giving away a pattern that is somewhere in my house and I couldn't quickly find it. It said What the Cluck on one side and then another side. I can't remember what it was. That's so bad. Neural Maple, congrats. You have won that one. I might not need to post it to you, so you let me know. Just send me a message what you would like me to do with that. You tell me. New giveaway is this one. It is by Rosewood Manor. It's Live Each Season. I bought this. I'll try and get this focusing better in a minute. I bought this off Stash Unload, and I don't know why I did because it's just not my thing. Like, have you ever seen me stitch this? Absolutely not. I'm not saying it's bad. I obviously liked it. But it's just not for me. So I decided to take it out of my stash and give it to someone who will. On the opposite side of this is the pattern. It has backstitch and French knots and cross stitch. That's what's in it. So it is all DMC. It also obviously has anchor as well if you want to do that. The design size is 120 by 180. They use 28 count for that. 2/2, but you can obviously do what you want. It says on there, live each season as it passes, breathe the air, drink the drink, taste the fruit, and resign yourself to the influences of each. Which I really like the saying. I'm just not going to stitch it. So if you would like to stitch this, let's get you to say, you know what? Just tell me what your favourite season is in the comment, but make sure you write the word season, not seasons, season. So this one here. Tell me what your favourite season is. So leave me a comment. My favourite season is winter. And I will search for the word season when I do the giveaway. Now the way that I'm going to send this is I'll put it into like a plastic envelope pocket thing, and I'll be putting it in a normal envelope. Maybe. It is the cheapest way to do it and what it's like at the moment. I'm more than happy to do international, but just know that it might arrive, it might not, and who knows at the moment. And it might take a while being Christmas. I don't know when I'll even get to the post office, to be honest. But I'm more than happy to do that. If you win this and you really, really, really want me to put it into a padded thing, I'll see how much it costs and we can talk. But every time I've done it in plastic and stuff, it's been fine because it protects it from the weather. It is a little, like, it is used. It was from Stash and Load, so there is a little bit of creasing there, but obviously it's a free giveaway. So please be over 18. Don't say giveaway, competition, anything in your comment. Be a subscriber. That's about it. So tell me your favourite season. Cool, giveaway's done. Let's talk plans. I love plans so much. They're my favourite thing to do. I think it's a stitching thing. I think we like to plan everything. And it is a teaching thing as well. Planning is fun. So, at the moment, for December, this is my plan. I'm going to be working on the baby sampler that I showed you before. I would love to get it done before Bubs is born, but I don't know if that's going to happen. And because I don't just want to work on one piece anymore, I'm also going to work on my temperature tree by Stitching Mummy that has been neglected for such a long time. So this is a tree I'm doing for Lily for her first year. So this is May. I started on her birth date and I've worked into June. I'm still in June. So I think my plan is going to be to try and get the tree completely stitched and then go from there. But I don't know if I'll get that done before the end of the year, but we'll see. This is being stitched from 28 count 1/1. The fabric, I can tell you what the fabric is. It's gorgeous, I can tell you that much. It's 28 count Jobelan, and it's Pole Stitches Awakening. The tree I'm stitching in Gentle Arts Brown Bear. So that's not what's called for, that's a DMC it's called for, but I'm doing it in a variegated instead. And I've started on the leaves a little bit. Now I backstitched, I'm gonna see if this focuses. You gonna do it? Oh yeah. You can see where I backstitched that leaf, that's the day she was born. I'm probably gonna pick that out if I can and do a different color, but I'm gonna leave it for now so that I don't forget which one it is. So I'm gonna be stitching on that and the baby sampler. I don't know how I'm gonna figure out which one I do. I don't know whether I do a week on each or a couple of days. Maybe I'll just stitch it on board. I might even end up just stitching the whole baby sample. I don't know. But that's what I would like to do. As well as my small, that's Lizzie Kate that I showed you before, when I'm out and about, when I need some car stitching or something. But I am tempted to take the baby sampler instead because that is an easy stitch. It's not on linen, it's even weave, so it's a bit easier for when we're actually in the car moving. And we are going to be going away a little bit over Christmas and stuff, so I may take that instead, which is a good idea. I keep saying 2020 instead of 2022. That's what I actually mean. So I was talking about Whip Go, and then I was like, I don't want to do it, and now I've decided I am doing Whip Go. I'm going to pop my board up for you, and I might just get it up on my phone so I actually know what I'm talking about. Okay, so here's my Whip Go board. And as you can see, I'm a teacher and I like to plan things with colour coordination. So that's what I've done. So what I decided to do was, because I have 6 categories for my whips, all of them have 4 times they can be called in the year, plus the free space. And I've decided my free space is just I'm going to randomly draw a category and just work on it. So I've popped in the projects, but for the large, medium, for most of them, that's going to change throughout the year because I am going to finish things, considering I only have 7 whips. So my full coverage will definitely just be mini clockwork dragonling, and I will do a better video about this for my next video, and I'll show you the whips. So that one's going to stay, and that will be 2,000 stitches every time it's called. My large at the moment is Kings and Queens of the UK, but that's very close to a finish. So I just said 1 page on that one. My medium at the moment is Evening in the Shire, and I can only do max 3 days on that, and then I need to move on. So that's my that's my goal for that one. I left small with no project in it because that changes all the time. So what I've said is, for a small, I either need to start and get halfway or finish it. That's the goal every time it gets called up. My current matte project is Grey Dragon, and that's a full coverage. So I don't know if that's going to get finished next year. It's not huge, like it's not a Hade, but it is still big. So I've just said 2,000 stitches for that one as well. And then the special is the Temperature Tree at the moment. That's obviously going to be finished by May, at the end of May. So what I've said for that is 3 months. So that's why I want to get the tree done, because then if it gets cold, I'll do 3 months of leaves. That's the plan. Once that's done, I'm going to be moving on to my wedding sampler, which I've changed. I'll show you that another time. Now, I don't know exactly how Whip Go works in terms of when you're supposed to work on your projects in the month. I know there's a Whip Go weekend, but I really want to do my Whip Go at the start of the month, get the 2 goals done, and then I'm going to be randomly generating a project to work on and do a goal for that. So for example, let's say I finish my Whip Go and then my random number generator draws up my temperature tree, for example. I'll just keep going and do another 3 months. You know what I mean? Until I'm actually caught up. Things like that. Or maybe it will come up with my full coverage. I'll do another 2,000 stitches. You know, so I will be moving through things as well, because those goals are not going to take me a whole month to do. That was the whole point. I didn't want to make them huge, gigantic goals that freak me out. So that's the plan. I will, like I said, I'll be going through my 2022 plans in more depth, probably in my next video. I'm trying to decide if I do an whip update, wrap up, and goals all in one, make it a long one, or split them up. I'll see how much time I have, really. That's what it will be. But I'm really excited for Whip Go. I'm so pumped to have a little, like, to be participating in some kind of challenge. I don't want to do too much because I'm going back to work, and I found out what I've been doing for work, so which I'm really pumped for. I need to do some planning for it, kind of thing. So I will be doing some work at home, I'm assuming. Teachers don't just work at school. Anyway, I wanted to make it pretty flexible, easy goals to do and to get finishes in. I'm really excited to finish Kings and Queens of the UK because that's my last large project on the go, and then I get to start a new one. I haven't started a normal large project in a really long time. I don't even know what the last one was. I wonder if I can find it, because I've been starting a bunch of smalls and a medium, I guess, but everything else has been smalls. Smalls. Maybe, oh no, The Witcher was technically a medium. Oh my God, I'm into 2018. Oh my God, the last time I started an actual large whip was the Mythical Medieval Mansion Sale by Tiny Modernist, which I started in 2018 and finished in 2020. That's so long ago. So I'm really, really excited to start a new one. So I hope that all made sense. It's a bit of a kerfuffle, but we're okay. I'm going to get this edited throughout the day when Lily's napping. So I'll do that instead of stitching for today and then keep going. So I hope you're all well, like I said before, hope you enjoyed the video. Hope it wasn't too long. And I'll be seeing you all next time. Now, that means Christmas, and we're going away pretty much straight after Christmas, so I might have to make a video slightly before Christmas. So, I don't just leave you hanging for the end of the year. Otherwise, it will be in the new year, start of the new year, which is fine. We'll pick one. We'll see what happens. I might even do an update video before Christmas and then do like a whip parade plans video at the start of the year. We might do that. So yes, thank you so much for coming back. And if you're new here, because I've had a few new subscribers, well done for getting through the video. But thanks for joining us. I will see you all at sometime around December, January. Have a wonderful end to your year. Have a very, very lovely holidays time, whatever you do. And happy stitching. See you guys next time.